love through another man's eyes. By so much the more will I tomorrow be at the height of heart heaviness, in being happy for seeing my brother has what he wishes for.
Why then tomorrow I cannot serve your turn for Rosalind?
I can live no longer by thinking.
I will weary you then no longer with idle talking. Know of me then that I can do strange things. I have since I was 3-year-old conversed with a magician, most profound in his art and yet not damnable. If you do love Rosalind as near the heart as your gesture cries it out, why then tomorrow when your brother marries Eliana, you shall marry her.
Speakest thou in sober meanings?
By my life I do, which I tender dearly, though I say I am a magician. Therefore, get you in your best array, bid your friends, for if you will be married tomorrow, you shall, and to Rosalind, if you will. Oh, look, here comes a lover of mine and a lover of hers.
You have done me much ungentleness to show the letter that I writ to you.
I care not if I have. It is my study to seem despiteful and ungentle to you. You are there followed by a faithful shepherd. Look upon him. Love him. He worships you.
Good shepherd, tell this youth what 'tis to love.
He's all made of faith and service, and so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
So am I for Rosalind.
And so am I to no woman.
He's all made of sighs and tears, and so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
He's all made of fantasy, all made of passion, and all made of wishes, all adoration, duty, and observance, all humbleness, all patience, and impatience, all purity, all trial, and observance, and so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And so am I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
Then why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
Why do you speak too? Why blame me you to love you?
Who that is not here nor doth not hear?
Oh, pray you no more of this. 'Tis like the howling of the Irish wolves against the moon. I would love you if I could. I will help you if I can. Tomorrow, meet me all together. I'll marry you if ever I marry a woman, and I'll be married tomorrow. I will satisfy you if ever I satisfy a man, and you shall be married tomorrow. I will content you if what pleases you contents you, and you shall be married tomorrow as you love Rosalind. Meet as you love the Phoebe meet, and as I love no woman I'll meet, so fare you well. I have left you command.
I will not fail if I live.
Nor I.
Nor I.
Today is the joyful day, Audrey. Today we will be married.
I do desire it with all my heart, and I hope it's no dishonest desire to be a woman of the world. Oh, here come 5 of the banished Duke's pages.
Well met, honest gentlemen.
By my troth, well met. Come, a song.
We are for you. Stand in the middle.
Shall we clap into it roundly, without hawking, or spitting, or saying that we are hoarse, which are only prologues to a bad voice?
In faith, and both in tune, like 2 gypsies on a horse.
There was a lover and his lass with a hey and a ho and a hey nonny no that on the green cornfields did pass with a hey and a ho and a hey nonny no in the springtime. 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 Only pretty springtime. There was a lover and his lass with a hey and a ho and a hey nonny no that o'er the green cornfields did pass with a hey and a ho and a hey nonny no in the springtime. 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 The only pretty ring time.
Though there was no great matter in the ditty, gentlemen, I did very much dislike it.
Well, you are deceived, sir. We kept our time. We lost not our time.
By my troth, yes. But I count it but time lost to hear such a foolish song. Goodbye, and God mend your voices. Come, Audrey.
Dost thou believe, Orlando, that this boy can do all this that he hath promised?
Sometimes I believe and sometimes I do not. As those that fear they hope and know they fear.
Patience once more whilst our compact is urged. You say if I bring in your Rosalind, you'll bestow her on Orlando here.
That would I, had I kingdoms to give with her.
And you say you'll have Rosalind when I bring her?
That would I if I were of all kingdoms king.
You say you'll marry me if I be willing.
That would I, should I die the hour after.
But if you do refuse to marry me, you'll bestow yourself on this faithful shepherd.
So is the bargain.
You say you'll have Phoebe if she will.
Though to have her and death were both one thing.
I have promised to make all this matter even.
Do remember in this shepherd boy some lively touches of my daughter's favor.
My lord, the first time I saw him, I thought he was brother to your daughter.
There's sure enough a flood toward, and these couples are coming to the ark. Here come a pair of very strange beasts, which in all tongues are called fools.
Salutation and greetings to you all.
Bid him well, my master. This is the motley-minded gentleman I have so often met in the forest. He hath been a courtier, he swears.
If any man doubt that, let me take him to my purgation. I have trod a measure. I have flattered a lady. I have been politic with my friend and smooth with my enemy. I have undone 3 tailors and have had 4 quarrels. I would like to have fought one.
And how was that taken up?
Faith, we met and found the quarrel was upon the 7th cause.
7th cause? How's 7th cause? Good, my lord, like you this fella?
I like him very well.
God yield you, sir, I desire you of the like. I present here amongst the rest of the country copulatives to swear and to forswear as marriage binds and blood breaks. A poor virgin, sir, an ill-favored thing, but mine own, a poor humor of mine, sir, to take that no man else will. But rich honesty dwells like a miser in a poorhouse, sir, as your pearl in your foul oyster.
He is very swift and sententious.
According to the fool's bolt, sir, and such dulcet diseases.
But for the 7th cause, how was that taken up?
Upon a lie 7 times removed. Now your body will see me not. As thus, sir, I did dislike the cut of a certain courtier's beard. He sent me word that if I was in the mind, it was not well cut. He was in the mind, it was. This is called the
Retort courteous.
If I sent him word again, it was not well cut, he would say he cut it to please himself. This is called the
Quip modest.
If again it was not well cut, he would disable my judgment. This is called the
Reply churlish.
If again it was not well cut, he would say, I spake not true. This is called the
Reproof valiant.
If again it was not well cut, he would say, I lie. This is called the
Countercheck quarrelsome.
and so on to the
Lie circumstantial.
and the
Lie direct.
uses his folly like a stalking horse, and under the presentation of that, he shoots his wife.
To you I give myself, for I am yours. And to you, I give myself, for I am yours.
If sight and shape be true, you are my daughter.
If sight and shape be true, you are my Rosalind.
If sight and shape be true, why then, my love, adieu.
I'll have no father if you be not he, no husband if you be not he, nor never wed woman if you be not she.
Oh, niece, welcome thou art to me. Even daughter, welcome in no less degree.
I will not eat my word. Now thou art mine. My faith, thy fancy to thee doth combine.
Let me have audience for a word or two. I am the second son of old Sir Rowan that bring these tidings to this fair assembly. Duke Frederick, hearing how that every day men of great worth resorted to these very woods, addressed a mighty power which were on foot, in his own conduct, purposely to take his brother here and put him to the sword. And to the skirts of this wild wood he came, where, meeting an old religious man, after some question with him, was converted both from his enterprise and from the world, his crown bequeathing to his banished brother, and all their lands restored to them again which were with him exiled.
Welcome, young man. Thou offers fairly to thy brother's wedding. To one, his lands withheld, and to the other, a land itself at large, a potent dukedom. But first, let us do those things that here were well begun and well begot. And after, every of our happy number that hath endured shrewd days and nights with us shall share the good of our returned fortune, according to the measure of their states. Meantime, forget this new fallen dignity, and fall into our rustic revelry. Play, music, and you brides and bridegrooms all, with measures heaped in joy, to the measures fall.
Sir! By your patience, if I heard you rightly, the Duke hath put up a religious life.
He hath.
To him will I add these convertits. There's much matter to be learned and heard. You to your former honor I bequeath your patience and your virtue, well deserved. You to a love that your true heart doth merit. You to your land and love and great allies. You to a long and well-deserved bed. And you to your wrangling, for thy loving voyage is but too much victualed. So to your pleasures. I am for other than dancing measures.
Jacques, stay!
To see no pastime, I, what you will have, I'll stay to know at your abandoned cave.
Well, proceed, proceed. We begin these rites as we do trust they'll end in true delights.
is true that good wine needs no bush. But to good plays, they do use good epilogues, and good wine proves better by the help of good advertisement. What a case am I in, then, that have neither a good epilogue, nor cannot insinuate with you on the behalf of a good play? I am not furnished like a beggar, therefore to beg will not become me. My way is to conjure you, and I'll begin with the women. I charge you, all women, for the love you bear to men, to like as much of this play as please you. And I charge you, all men, for the love you bear to women, as by your simpering, I perceive none of you hates them, that between you and the woman the play may please. If I were a woman, I would kiss as many of you as had faces that pleased me, beards that liked me, and breaths that I defied not. And I am sure that for as many of you as have good faces, or good beards, or sweet breaths, will for my kind offer, when I make curtsy, bid me farewell. To us this whole time. Thank you.
And we'd like to turn all of our ears for a second to Mr. North down there.
Oh, and thank you, Dave.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes, I am, Mr. President.
It's very difficult to get her on stage, and she's probably not going to say anything, but I'm here to celebrate with you 25 years of Shakespeare. This is from the comics. There's some comments and so forth. It's a card that goes from bawdy to emotional, as a matter of fact. A small story. When I interviewed for the position in comics, that's now 19 years ago, the first thing I heard about the school was that there was this marvelous lady who taught Shakespeare. And here she is 25 years later, or 19 years later.
Thank you all very much. These are for my friends. This is David. Jean-Michel, where are you? Behind you. And Dan? There you are. Okay. It is my great privilege to have worked with them since they were in 8th grade, all in the same class, except for Mish, who came later. But it's been a great collaboration over the past 4 years, and I will miss them, and I will not cry until Saturday night. So thank you all. Thank you very much. Great audience. Great job.
I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay. had nothing to live for. It look like nothing's gonna come my way. So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay.
Times you have to teach them how to project, you know, how to talk slowly. And as far as Shakespeare goes, the language has become so much easier as the years have gone on. I think I've just definitely, my vocabulary has grown a great deal. And I think I've sort of begun to understand, understand the iambic pentameter and, you know, the whole completion of the Shakespeare sentences better. So.
That's great. I heard you the other day giving some advice to other students in the circle about how they should speak and how they should use themselves on stage. Do you remember some key things that you'd said that day or that you normally tell to other people?
Well, definitely, I think the most important thing about being on this stage is projection, because if people aren't going to hear what you're saying, then it's not going to mean anything to them. So definitely diction, projection, and I guess just sort of opening up, stage presence. You know, you sort of have to, you can't turn your back to the audience. I guess just sort of simple things that basically everyone has to learn when they come into the theater.
I also heard Susanna talking with the others about their body language and how to use physical language to express what is often hard to understand, because Shakespearean language is difficult to understand. Can you tell us something about that?
Well, yeah, I think that because so much of it is going to go over the audience's head, which is it's too bad, but it's really what happens about 50%, I'd say. So I think what's really important is that the actors learn to take their to use their physical comedy, to use their physical actions, to relate with other people, to express it to the audience in a way that they'll understand it. Because you have to remember that a great deal of our audience is younger children who don't have the vocabulary, don't have the understanding of the complicated plots. So physical comedy and physical touching, all that stuff is really important.
Okay, thank you, Susanna, so much for taking the time out from rehearsal to talk with us. Thank you for joining us for the first segment in which we spoke to some students of the Semi-Royal Shakespeare Company during this rehearsal. Hope you enjoy the show. Hi, during this segment we're going to discuss the choice of the 1960s as the decade in which As You Like It is being performed. And here we have a junior at Mamaroneck High School named Peter Hutchings, who has been with the company for how many years have you been?
Since 8th grade, so this is my 4th year.
Yeah, this is his 4th year with the company. And as you can see, he's dressed in 60s garb. Can you tell us, Peter, how they chose this costume and who you're supposed to be in the play?
Okay, I'm Orlando in the play, and I'm going into the forest now. When I was back in the village, I basically wore a tie-dye shirt with a blue denim shirt over, kind of to represent like the early 60s, you know, like Sandlot, baseball, that sort of stuff. Now I'm into the woods. I'm wearing more of like a hippie stuff. I don't know if the pants are staying, but
well, certainly people wore
see the shoes, see the shoes.
Blue jeans and sneakers in the 60s.
Yeah,
in the East Village, especially of New York, and
I just
other
visited Berkeley.
cities. And Berkeley, right? That's right. Could you just tell us about your part a little bit in this play?
I am Orlando, and when the play starts off, I'm an oppressed younger brother. Basically, when my father died, he left me in his will money, which I never got because my older brothers kept it from me. You know, so basically I get like really angry. I get into this fight with this wrestler in which I throw him, and because of who my father was, I don't get the money. So I get really angry and I run into the woods after I've met my true love now, Rosalind, Susanna Tchaikovsky. And in the woods, I go through a number of ordeals in which I meet Rosalind, my love, dressed up as a guy, and the guy helps me, gives me coaching lessons in how to win over the girl. So it's kind of like, you know, a whole ironic.
You were definitely the protagonist in this play, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And how old would you say you're representing? Your character is about how old in this play?
I'm 17.
17, okay. Peter has been with the company and played in various other roles and had many different costumes. Can you tell us some of the other plays you were in?
In 8th grade, in Scenes from Shakespeare, I was I was Demetrius in Midsummer. I was Lysander in Midsummer the next year in the full play.
He's speaking about Midsummer Night's Dream for those of you who may not be that familiar with Shakespeare. And what else? What
And
other part?
I was Page last year in Merry Wives of Windsor.
Which was a very funny play. Thank you, Peter. I know you have to get back on stage. They're calling you right now. Thanks for this interview.
Thank you very much.
Okay, in this segment, we would like to show the 60s costumes that have been chosen by both Dee O'Brien, the director, and the students who are part of the Semi-Royal Shakespeare Company. As you will be able to hear during the show, the music right now is actually indicative of traditional English folk music. But the music that is used in between the scenes comes from the 60s, the Love and Spoonful and a lot of other groups that were popular at that time. And as you can see in the costumes, there are a lot of baggy pants, a lot of glitter and Indian and Pakistani costumes that were worn in Village and Berkeley and all the major colleges at the time of parts of the 60s. A lot of the kids are wearing scarves on their head and all kinds of jewelry, and much of this came from closets of parents who grew up in the 60s and from costume companies and addicts. And that's about it. What makes it interesting, I guess, is that the language is so different than the period of time. To continue in this segment to talk about the costumes from the 1960s and from what makes the Semi-Royal Shakespeare Company very special, we'd like to interview Mandy Schweitzer, who's been with the company now for how many years?
4 years.
4 years. She is now a senior and graduating from Mamaroneck High School and moving on to a career at Yale University next year. And what I would like to do is ask Mandy a few questions about the sheep, and we will pan over to them so you can see exactly who they are and how we end up using them in the play. Mandy, could you tell us about Dee O'Brien's use of younger siblings of the high school students in these plays?
Well, for the past few years, she's been taking younger siblings I know, my little sister, Susanna Cherkassky's little sister, and the little sisters and brothers of many members of the company have really expressed an interest. They've come to the shows and loved it. I know they're always a big hit with the younger kids because even though they might not understand all the language, they understand like the slapstick and all the humor, and it's just fun to see their older sisters and brothers up there. So Dee got the idea that she would let them have a small role in the play. And last year, a few of these girls, I know my sister Callie got to be a fairy in the last scene of the Merry Wives of Windsor, and this year they're expanding their role a little bit. They get to be in, how many, 3 scenes? 3 scenes? Oh, 2 scenes, sorry, as goats and sheep, and they're great. They're very good. They're a very big highlight of the play.
What I think is interesting about this, seeing this over the years, is that it's a way of bringing the Semi-Royal Shakespeare Company and Shakespeare down to the level of elementary school children. So these children begin to experience Shakespeare, the language, the settings, the costumes, at grades like 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade. And many teachers have now gotten on the bandwagon and go over scenes with their children in the classroom. Mandy, can you just tell us what other plays you've been in since you've been with the Semi-Royal Shakespeare Company?
Oh, well, I've been in The Tempest, Midsummer Night's Dream, The Merry Wives of Windsor, and now As You Like It.
And what would you say is the most important thing, if there's one, that you have learned from working with other students and from Dee O'Brien over the 4 years you've been in this group?
Well, I've learned so much about acting and understanding Shakespeare. I think interpreting the language is such a big part of it. Dee really makes sure that we understand every word, and then I know this year, as kind of senior members of the company, we've really been able to help the freshmen and the sophomores interpret their lines. And I know we just read King Lear in my AP English class, and I had no problem with it. And there, some people in my class were like, "What is this? Like all these and thous? I don't understand." Whereas I was just like, "Oh, okay, whatever. I've been doing this for 4 years. You know, it's easy." And I think my favorite part is just that we're just like a family. I mean, I know like everyone in the company is just, they're all such close friends of mine, and a lot of them are people that I never would have even met if I hadn't been involved in the company, and I love it.
How do you all choose your costumes? For example, we've been talking about the 1960s as the decade in which this play is taking place. Do you have any part in choosing your costumes or working on those with Dee O'Brien?
Well, on Saturdays, pretty much from when rehearsal starts in November, we come in and a lot of us help Dee with the costumes and the sets, and she pretty much picks out the costumes. She has a really good eye for colors and like what's gonna work. But if we don't like something, we can definitely tell her, and if we have other suggestions, I know one member of our company actually brought in stuff that her mom had worn in the 60s, and now the girl who plays Phoebe is actually getting to wear that in the show, so that was a big help. But really, I think the costumes are great. Dee always says, you have to think of them as costumes, not as clothes. So I mean, obviously, while this isn't something I'd necessarily be wearing to school or anything, I mean, maybe I would have worn it in the 60s. I don't know. I think it's great as a costume. I love it.
Okay. Have there been any special moments that you can remember over the years working with kids who are younger than you, or else things that you learned from kids who are older than you, like seniors who have graduated in the past?
Well, I could talk for like hours about how much I learned from the older kids, but last year I got to direct a scene in the 8th grade, scenes from Shakespeare. I directed a scene from A Midsummer Night's Dream with 4 8th graders who now, I think 2 of them are actually in the other play. They're both in Comedy of Errors, and I learned so much about how to direct Shakespeare by helping them, and really, because they really didn't understand as much as I thought they would, because of course I went, oh, I understand this, I'll understand it. It forced me to really look at everything and be like, okay, obviously, like, I need to make these lines really clear when I say them when I'm an actress, because if they don't understand it, like reading it, you know, how's the audience ever going to understand it? And it was really rewarding, especially since 2 of them ended up trying out for and getting into the company. I felt like maybe I had a little part in that, I don't know.
So you were a guide to them. In other words, you were working with 8th graders, you directed them, they learned a lot from you.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess teaching is one of the best ways in which to learn. We're going to thank you very much for doing this interview with us, and good luck next year at Yale. And we are so excited that you've been with the Semi-Royal Shakespeare Company for 4 years, and you've taught all of us a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks a lot for joining.
Hi, I'm Sarah Melman.
And I'm Annie Witten.
And we are performing the Comedy of Errors in the Emlyn Theater this weekend.
Say the dates.
The date is March 5th, 6th, and 7th. It's going to be wonderful. And today we're just going to tell you a little bit about the Comedy of Errors. So Annie's going to give you a brief synopsis.
Okay. The Comedy of Errors is a classic Shakespearean comedy. It deals with mistaken identity, people in disguises, and everything comes together at the end in a big happy ending. Our cast is approximately 16 or 17 high schoolers, all from Mamaroneck High School. We have freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, and we actually have a returning senior who is a freshman in college who is playing a part in the show. We're very excited to have him. This is Shakespeare's 25th year being performed in Larchmont, Mamaroneck, being directed by Dee O'Brien, who teaches English at the middle school. And Sarah, why don't you tell us what plays you've been in?
I've been in A Midsummer Night's Dream in my 9th grade year, and Merry Wives of Windsor, which was last year, and then 8th grade Shakespeare, which is not going on anymore, but happened last year. I was in a couple of scenes. And Annie?
I was also in Midsummer Night's Dream and Merry Wives of Windsor, and my freshman year I was in The Tempest. And this is my senior year, and I'm very sad to go, but I think it's going to be our greatest year ever, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So everybody should come to the Emlyn Theater March 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th to see The Comedy of Errors. And also being performed is As You Like It, which is being done in 1960s. So that's like 60s music and 60s costume, and our play is traditional dress. So, right. Tickets can be bought at the Emlyn box office. You can come before the show to buy the tickets, or you can call ahead and reserve them. And so everybody should come see the show because it's great family fun.
Hi, today we're at the Emlyn Theater. I'm Sarah Melman.
I'm Caitlin Miller.
And we're here to tell you a little bit about The Comedy of Errors, which is going to be produced this weekend, March 5th, 6th, and 7th. You should really come. It's a great play. This is Caitlin, and she's in charge of a whole lot of Shakespeare. She's the assistant director, and she's also in it. She's a courtesan. She's really good. So, Caitlin, how's your experience been like at Shakespeare?
Well, this is my second year doing it. I'm associate producer, stage manager, and assistant courtesan. And I do a lot of stuff backstage. I do sewing, sets, I take care of props. And this year I'm making my debut as a courtesan.
Which do you like better, Caitlin, performing or being backstage?
I definitely like being backstage better. There's just as much pressure, but I think it's more fun.
Great, and how's your experience been? Do you like everyone in Shakespeare? Is it a whole lot of fun?
Yeah, it's great. It's amazing. I love everybody in Shakespeare.
Is there any special message you want to send to everyone else sitting backstage there on camera?
Come see Shakespeare at the Emlyn, Friday and Sunday night.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
At either end of the mast, floating straight, obedient to the stream, was carried towards Corinth, as we thought. At length, the sun, gazing upon the earth, dispersed those vapors that offended us. By the benefit of his wished light, the seas waxed calm, and we discovered two ships from afar, making a main to us. Of Corinth that, of Epidaurus this, but ere they came, oh, let me say no more. Gather thy sequel by that which went before.
Stand forward, old man, do not break off so, or we may pity through, not pardon you.
Oh, had the gods done so! Oh, but the ships did meet by twice 5 leagues, when we were encountered by a mighty rock, which, being violently borne upon, our helpful ship was splitted in the midst, so that in this unjust divorce of us, fortune had left to both of us alike what to delight in, what to sorrow for. Her part, poor soul, seeming as burdened with lesser weight, but not with lesser woe, was carried with more speed before the wind, and in our sight, they three were taken up by fishermen of Corinth.
Hapless Aegeon, whom the fates have marked, to bear the extremity of dire mishap. Now trust me, were it not against our laws, against my crown, my oath, my dignity, which princes would they may not disannul, my soul should sue as advocate for thee. But though thou art a judge to the death, and past sentence may not be recalled, but to honor's great disparagement, yet I will favor thee in what I can. Therefore, merchant, I'll limit thee this day to seek thy health by beneficial help. Try all the friends thou hast in Ephesus. Beg thou or borrow, and to make up the sum and live. If no, then thou art doomed to die. Jailer, take him to thy custody.
I will, my lord.
Hopeless and helpless.
That's my line. Hopeless and helpless doth Aegeon wend, but to procrastinate his lifeless end. Blackout.
Close-ups. Hello. Ring-a-ling. Yeah, well, welcome to Shakespeare.
I'm Matt Sachs.
I'm Giancarlo Coliani.
Yes.
He's my son.
We, in the play, we have been brought to this show by some lucky circumstances, shall we say, yes?
I would consider it luck, yes.
This is GC's 6th year, yes?
Yes. It's been a basic, like, cut! You know, it's been an interesting experience. I've had this 6th play I've done, because, you know, no one in the 25 years that this company's, like, been around has done it. And it's kind of cool for me, because I'm in college now, and all these little guys are in high school.
Well, it is my 2nd year doing this,
Yes.
and I was actually brought to the show by some sort of unlucky force.
Unlucky force?
Actually,
unlucky force, yet beneficial to us, because what happened was there was some vile Confederates that decided not to...
Vile Confederates?
Yes, that decided not to go through the long haul, and they couldn't handle the pressure.
So they quit, which is against the
moral tradition of the play.
Tradition of the play. So we filled in.
And you know, we're stronger people
We
for
are
it.
stronger people for it.
I've made a dying devotion to this play, and so has Matt Sachs.
It's been hard.
It's been
hard.
rough.
It's been tough, but we pulled through.
Sleepless nights.
Sleepless nights.
Only top ramen.
Only top what?
Only top ramen.
Only top ramen.
Not the bottom ramen.
Not the bottom ramen. And it's been good. It's been good.
It's been wonderful.
It's
The
been-
play, as you may... Shh, let's listen. It's going good.
It's going well.
On this final dress rehearsal
On
of Tuesday, March 3rd, something?
3rd, yes.
Yes.
It's wonderful. So we filled in, and now the show is just so much better for it.
It's
So
incredible to me, actually. It's almost like a movie. Rags to riches, get it? Stop it, you're killing me, Matt, take it over.
Well, that's basically it. I mean, it's been fun.
It has been fun.
It's been fun. I had the pleasure of working with GC for the first time, which is always,
Yes,
I guess, a pleasure.
Definitely.
Yes.
I helped direct him in scenes from Shakespeare last year.
Yes,
In a very
yes.
small amount.
Yes.
And there's a song I must sing right now.
He must sing a song.
It's called the Matt Sachs song.
It's called the Matt. I get to dance.
Yep, and
I get to dance.
it's really quick. It's really simple. It just goes, Matt Sachs, Matt Sachs, Matt Sachs, Matt Sachs. All right, there you go.
Not bad.
Not only is this play educational and fun,
but
it's an action-packed adventure ride that really no one knows where it's going to end. A roller coaster with no restraint bar and many loops.
So fasten your seatbelts and put up your tray tables because
it's a wild ride.
It is a wild ride.
I'd like to thank William Shakespeare and the creators of the Emlyn Theater and the cast and crew of our play. Thank you very much. Elvis has left the building.
So, Elena, how do you feel about being in the play?
I really like it. It's a lot of fun. I really like it. It's a lot of fun. Work with a lot of good people. Dee, who directs the play, Dee O'Brien, she is wonderful. She helps us out a lot, and she's like a really good inspiration for us.
Now, this isn't your first play. I think you've been in others.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your history.
In 8th grade, I was in scenes from Shakespeare, and I played the prologue in Midsummer Night's Dream, and I played a witch in a Macbeth scene, and last year I was the hostess in The Merry Wives of Windsor.
Is this part a bigger part than others that you've had?
Last year I had like a decent-sized part. This year it's maybe like a little bit of a bigger part. It's more energy kind of required, but I don't know. It's maybe like the same, if a little bigger.
Now, tell us a little bit about this play and the role of you're playing the abbess, the role of the abbess in comedy.
Okay. The play is about, for those of you who don't know, two brothers who are lost at sea, and they don't really get reunited until the end of the play, but really long, complicated. I play the abbess, who's a nun and was mother to the sons before they got separated, and at the end we put everything together and figure out they're brothers. So, I don't know, she's like a really psycho nun, but at the end she kind of loosens up because she finds her husband, so.
Oh, here comes, no. You've been working pretty hard at this. How do you and the other actors incorporate all of these rehearsals, particularly as the end nears or the beginning nears, into all of your other schoolwork? How does this all work out?
Well, we have a lot of time to do our schoolwork while we're here, when we're not on stage or during intermissions. And when it first started, we only had practice 2 days a week. So now we know this is our commitment. It's been kind of rigorous, but it's a lot of fun. And this is taking up like a lot of our time, but it's worth it. Yeah.
One of the things I know a lot of you really particularly enjoy are the performances on Thursday and Friday morning for the students. Can you talk a little bit about your experience with that and how it feels to be acting in front of that particular audience?
It's really actually fun to work in front of the kids because it's good to see what they think of it, like their output, you know, what they like about it. I actually talked to a couple of kids that had seen it and they really liked it. They had really good feedback. And also helps us to get prepared for the night because it's exciting to do for the night. So it's good just to have like a run through in the morning. So.
Terrific. Anything else you want to add? No? Well, thank you.
How many plays have you done with her?
I've done 3. This is my 3rd one.
Yeah. What's the difference between this one and the other one?
This one, well, first of all, it's traditional Shakespearean dress, and last year I was in modern. And when I was in 8th grade, I did 2 scenes, so I was one modern, one Shakespeare. The story's kind of complicated, but once you follow along, it's like pretty much figured out. Yeah.
What things do you have to say about your teacher?
Dee, she's very dedicated. She's also doing another play, so this has taken up all of her time. I'm surprised she hasn't just like gotten crazy with us yet. She puts a lot of time. She works really hard for us. She's like a really good inspiration and role model. So I'm happy that we're working with her. I know.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Would you believe it's like the 25th anniversary of Shakespeare?
I can't believe it's been 25 years already.
I'm actually ecstatic. I mean, I can't believe.
I've counted about one so far. I know where the other 24 went.
So far, I've been in, I think it's 3 plays. How many have you?
Yeah, I've been one. Yeah, this is my first year. I'm a rookie this year.
Yeah, well, it's my 3rd year this year, and you know, I'm kind of excited. Next year, I wish 25th anniversary was next year, so I could be a senior, and you know, so we could be honored, you know, us seniors, you know. But hey, I'm glad I'm part of Shakespeare anyways.
Yeah.
How about you, Ethan?
It's been a good experience for me so far, and I've liked it. There've been a couple bad things about it. I mean, a couple like breakouts and
nothing
people
we
screaming
can't
at-
fix,
yeah,
right?
I mean, I'm pretty much used to all that by now. But
I'm ecstatic that I can't wait till the play, you know, comes.
Yeah.
You know, I wanna wow the whole local town of Mamaroneck and Larchmont.
And wait, you play Dr. Pinch?
Yeah, that's right. I play Dr. Pinch in this getup here.
Yeah.
He plays jailer.
I play the officer, jailer, rock, captain, sailor, and the executioner. Yeah. So I mean, I've got a whole assortment of parts.
I love my part, even though it's just a minimum amount of lines. I love the physical comedy. The physical comedy is the bomb.
You're very good at it. You fall down.
I'm kind of good, right?
Yeah.
Kind of good. Hey,
I think
thank
you should wear the eye patch though.
Yeah, I wish, but you know, I should be having.
No, I put that on and I got like pink eye, so it's not that good sometimes.
All right. All right. I guess we're done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How have you guys been in other plays?
Yeah, I've been in. Last play was The Merry Wives of Windsor that I was in. Actually, that was my first high school play because the other play that I did was in 8th grade, and I'm really counting the high school years. So, I guess you could say maybe I just been in 2 years of Shakespeare for high school. How about you, Ethan?
Oh well, yeah, I haven't been in that many plays. I've been in a couple of plays in elementary school, but besides that, this is pretty much my first performance.
What did you play last year?
Last year I wasn't in it last year.
How about? Oh, this is your first year, right?
Yeah, this is my first year.
Well, last year I played this servant boy named Jack Rugby, and it wasn't a great part. You know, I didn't say that much, but you know,
But
at
you got to
least
carry
I
a sword.
participated. At least I got in. You know.
Yeah, you got to carry a sword too.
Yeah, I had the sword.
Yeah,
The sword was kind of cool. I had one funny moment, and that was on a Saturday, but I guess, you know,
One
everybody
funny
was laughing at one part. I guess he was meant to be funny guy. I really don't know what kind of character this guy was, you know, but that's it, I guess.
So you like this play better than the one you played last?
Yeah, as a character, yeah, but as a play, I can't say that because last year we just did one play and it was a really, really, really big play, and I liked the way there was a lot of people. Right.
Yeah, not having 2 plays like competitive.
Right. I always think it's kind of wrong. I mean, they compete a lot. I just hate that a lot. Really.
You like the fun.
Right. You know, it just, I don't know. It takes the focus off, like, you know, being a great play, and it's just being 2 competitive plays. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah. I like this play more than last year, I guess. I mean, well, I wasn't in it last year, so I guess I can't really say much about that, but this has been a better experience than last year. So.
Right.
Well.
Okay.
Thanks. Yeah, no problem.
Spoke with you since you sent me hence home to the centaur with the gold you gave me.
Villain, thou didst deny the gold you seek, and toldst me of a mistress and a dinner for which I hoped thou feltst I was displeased.
I'm glad to see you in this merry vein. What means this jest? I pray you, master, tell me.
Yeah, dost thou jeer and flout me in the teeth? Thinkst thou I jest? Hold, take thou that!
Hold, sir, for God's sake! What means this jest? I pray you, master, tell me.
Because I familiarly sometimes do use you for my fool and chat with you. Your sauciness will just upon my love and make a comment of my serious hours. When the sun shines, let foolish gnats make sport, but creep in crannies when he hides his beams. If you will just with me know my aspect, and fashion your demeanor to my looks, or I'll beat this method in your sconce.
Sconce, you call it, so you would leave battering. I'd rather have it ahead, and you use these blows long. I shall get a sconce for my head, and ensconce it too, or else I shall seek my wit in my shoulders. But I pray, sir, why am I beaten?
Dost thou not know?
Nothing, sir, but that I am beaten.
Shall I tell you why?
Aye, sir, and wherefore? For they say every why hath a wherefore.
Why first? For flouting me. And then, wherefore? For urging it the second time to me.
Was there ever any man thus beaten out of season, when in the why and the wherefore was neither rhyme nor reason? Well, sir, I thank you.
Thank me, sir, for what?
For this something that you gave me for nothing!
I'll make you amends next to give you nothing for something. But soft. Who wafts us yonder?
I, Antiphilus, look strange and frown. Some other mistress hath thy sweet aspects. I am not Adriana, nor thy wife. There once was a time when thou, on urging would thou, that never words were music to thine ear, that never object pleasing to thine eye, that never touch well welcome to your hand, that never meet sweet savored in your taste, unless I spoke, or looked, or touched, or parted it. How comes it now, my husband? Oh, how comes it now that thou art then a stranger from thyself? Do not tear thyself away from me. How deeply would it touch thee to the quick, shouldst thou but hear I were licentious, and that this body, consecrate to thee, by a ruffian lust should be contaminated. Wouldst thou not spit at me, and spurn at me, and hurl the name of husband in my face, and tear the stained skin from off my harlot brow, and from my false hand cut the wedding ring, and break it with a deep divorcing vow? I know thou canst, and therefore see thou to it. I am possessed with an adulterate lust. My blood is mingled with the crime of lust. For if we two be one, and thou playest false, I do digest the poison of thy flesh, being strumpeted by your contagion. Keep then, bear me in truth to thy true bed. I live this day, thou undishonored.
Plead you to me, fair dame? I know you not. In Ephesus I am but 2 hours old, as strange unto your town as to your talk. Who every word by all my wit being scanned, wants wit in all one word to understand.
My brother, how the world has changed with you. Where were you once, my sister-in-law? She sent for you by Dromio home from dinner.
By Dromio? By me?
By thee. And this thou didst turn from him, that he did buffet thee, and in his blows denied my house for his, me for his wife.
Billy, converse with this gentlewoman. What is the drift and course of your compact?
Sir, I never spoke to her till this time.
Villain, thou liest, for even her very words didst thou deliver to me on the mart.
I never spake with her in all my life.
How can she thus then call us by our names, unless it be by inspiration?
How ill agrees it with your gravity to counterfeit thus grossly with your slave, abetting him to thwart me in my mood. Be it my law, you are from me exempt, but wrong not that wrong with the more contempt. Come, I will fasten on the sleeve of thine
Was I married to her in my dream? Or sleep I now? How did I hear all this? What errors drive our eyes and ears amiss? And until I know this sure uncertainty, I'll entertain the offered fallacy.
Romeo, go feed the serpent spread for dinner.
Oh, for my bees, I trust me for a sinner. This is the fairyland, oh spite of spite. We talk with goblins, owls, and sprites. If we obey them not, this will ensue. They'll suck our breath, our bitches black and blue.
What breath thou to yourself and answerest not? Romeo, thou snout, thy slut, thy sock.
I am transformed, master, am I not?
I think thou art in mind, and so am I.
Nay, master, both in mind, I need my share.
Thou hast thine own form.
No, I am an air.
If thou art transformed, you want to.
Princeton New London High was